Hi, welcome to my channel. Today will be the first of a monthly series that I will be starting up on my channel of 4 looks using one palette. There are several YouTube creators who have series of 2, 3, 4, 7 looks using one palette. My series will encompass the same 4 types of looks. So look number 1 will be your rush look. You have to get somewhere quick, but you want to look a little bit put together. So you grab one color, put it all over your lid, and some mascara and call it a day. Look 2 will be your everyday look. So something a little bit more elevated for work, for school, maybe for running errands, going to the grocery store, whatever it is you do from the day to day, you want a little bit more of a put together look. That'll be your look 2. Look 3 will be your happy hour, date night, night out with some friends type of look. So a step up from your everyday look. And then look 4 will be your all-out glam look. It'll probably be a little darker, a little more sultry, and probably include some glitter. For today's video, I decided to use the Sweet Talk Palette by Colourpop, which is this beautiful palette right here. Looks a little bit dirty because I've had it for quite some time. This is what it looks like on the inside. Some peachy tones, some browns, and some glitters. Definitely some fun looks to be created with this palette. This palette can be purchased on Colourpop.com or through Ulta. It retails for $18. About a week or 2 ago, Colourpop did have a 25% off their entire site sale. So then you could purchase this palette for an even more affordable price than $18. But I wanted to start with a palette that was not sold out, something that you could go out and buy right now if you wanted to follow along with this video, or maybe you already have this palette and you can follow along with one of these looks, or you have something similar to the shades that I have in this palette, and then you can go ahead and create one of those looks that we'll be doing today. So enough about the palette. Let's get into look 1 and 2 using all of these beautiful colors. So I already have my foundation on. I will list all the products used today in the description bar below. Let's get some of this hair out of the way so you can see what we're doing here. I do like how I planned out this peachy bow to match this peachy palette. Was totally done on purpose. Now I can't promise that I have a matching bow for every palette that I'm going to use in the future, but for today. So I have not applied primer. For today, I'll be using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is the anti-aging one. I've mentioned before, it's not my favorite, but I am trying to use it up. And so for the purpose of this video, I think it'll be okay. These eyeshadows won't be staying on my eyeballs very long anyways. I'll be putting together look 1 and 2, then removing it all, and then look 3 and 4. And let's be honest, I'm not gonna be walking around the house with 2 eyeshadow looks. I mean, maybe I will. All right, so as I mentioned, we'll be using Colourpop's Sweet Talk Palette. I just noticed that inside it says, "You're pretty." Isn't that so sweet? Such a cute palette. Okay, so for our wash of color for look 1, which will be on this eye. For look number 1, we'll be starting with West Side, which is right here. So remember, we're doing our wash of color, 1 single look. So I'm going to grab a Morphe E27 brush. I'm going to dip into that color, and I'm going to run that all across my crease and all on my lid and call it a day. So you don't have to use a brush for this look. You could use just your finger. However, I like defining the crease a little bit if I can. It should still not take longer than, you know, a minute to do both eyes. And then with my finger, I'm going to dip into that same color, West Side. Now the reason I put it all over is because I do have discolorations, or not discolorations, but you know, those veiny colors from your eye. I feel like it's important to do a wash of color all over the lid and not just in the crease. And there you have it, your wash of color. Now all our wash of color is missing is mascara. So going in with L'Oreal Voluminous Original in Blackest Black. Going to put a light little coat of mascara to finish out look number 1. Depending on how rushed you are, sometimes what I like to do is if I'm doing my makeup and I'm adding a little bit of highlighter onto my cheeks, I also like to run the same brush just above or just on the brow bone right here, just to give a little extra dimension. And then sometimes I'll put a little pop of that highlighter in the inner corner, but not always. A lot of times I'm really in a hurry, so I just need to get color on and mascara and get out the door. So this is that look. You have just a couple minutes. Maybe you're not doing foundation. Maybe you're doing a tinted moisturizer and applying it with your hands very quickly, and you just want, you know, a quick little look to look a little bit more put together. And there we go, look number 1. So let's move over to look number 2 using the same palette. Starting with that same color, West Side, which is this brown right here. And I'm going to use the same brush, which is a Morphe E27. I'm going to dip and put that color all over my crease here. So admittedly, this is probably my most standard look for every day, especially if I'm using this palette. I do wake up early enough in the mornings just to have a few extra minutes so that way I can take time doing my makeup in the morning for work. Now there are some times when I'm in a rush or I have to be in the office a little earlier than usual, and not earlier. I'm at the office at 7 a.m. and on days that I have a 7 a.m. appointment, I do arrive a little bit before 7, and on days that I don't have a 7 a.m., I do arrive to the clinic right on time. There you go. Just buff that out all over the crease, and I tend to go up a little bit higher just so that my eye is a little bit elevated. I think I've mentioned that before. I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to go in with Catch Me, which is this color right here. And I don't know why, but I prefer using my finger whenever I apply colors on my lid. I just feel like they apply smoother, whether it's a matte or a shimmer. I feel so many people only use their finger for shimmers, you know, like this color right here, which is side to side. But for me, and I did it on the other side as well, whenever I am doing the lid, I just like to use my finger. I feel that our fingers can be the best makeup tools. Once I've laid that, I go back to my E27 just to buff it out here. And just to add a little bit of something, I'm going back into West Side using an E36 brush. It's like a pencil brush. And I'm going to smoke the lower lash line, which you don't have to do, but I like to do this. Usually I put eyeliner in my waterline, but I'm not going to do that for this look. I'm only going to do it for look 3 and 4. Okay, and then going into my Morphe E35, I'm going to dip into the shimmery color, which was side to side, which is this color right up here. And I'm going to highlight the inner corner right here. Now, sometimes I do put this color on the lid as well, but for my looks at work, I try to keep them a little bit more neutral, a little bit matte. So there we go. And now dipping into our same mascara, I'm going to coat the eyelashes. And there you have it. Look 1, wash of color. Look 2, your everyday, go to work, go to school, run errands type of look. If you have a little extra time, you can put eyeliner in your waterline or do a little wing or smudge on top, but otherwise these looks are ready to go and you don't have to add anything else. So let's take these eyes off and get into look 3 and 4. I realize that I may look a little different right now, and it's because I just realized that I forgot to put earrings on. So there's that. But what would my videos be if I didn't do some sort of mess up along the way? There's a mess up. I'm sure more will come. Let's get into look number 3. Remember, look number 3 will be your look for date night, night out with the girls, maybe happy hour after work. You want to spruce up your look a little bit more. This is going to be the look for you. Let's get this same Urban Decay primer all over. Now, I really want to find a primer that has more pigment because then it would help hide all of my veiny colors on my eyes there. So I'm going to use a clean Morphe E27 brush, and I'm going to start with Work It, which is this light mustardy color right up here. And so similar to look number 2, I'm going to buff that in the crease and up here. So we're adding some extra dimension to this look. It won't be as flat as the other look. And the other look, look number 2, is not flat by any means, but this one's just, you know, giving you a little bit more oomph. This one's just giving you a little bit more than look number 2, which is the point. The point of 4 looks, 1 palette is so that you can see what variety there is with 1 palette. I intend to do all types of palettes with this series, including high-end palettes, some palettes with less colors. This one has 12, so some with less than 12 shades, and then some with more, just to show you that you can use your palettes for so many looks. sometimes you see this and you just look at the glitters and you think that's all you can use, or this one color and think that that's all that there is for you. But no, you can definitely use this palette to its full potential. Going into my Colourpop E19, we are going to go into ICYMI, which is this one right here, in case you missed it. We're gonna dip into that color. And we're going deeper into the crease, so right in that area. And then we're also going into that darker brown color that's in the bottom corner of this palette, just to add a little bit of extra for this look. This look I'll also be using eyeliner in the waterline because I have to smoke it out a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go back into my Morphe E27 brush, not using any additional color, just to kind of help buff in those two colors together. Now using the same brush, I'm going to dip into Feel Free, which is this color right here. And I always tap off, especially these darker colors, just to kind of limit the amount of fallout. I'm going to concentrate this one on the very outer corner. And I want it to be very dark and pigmented. I'll dip into it a few times and then tap off the excess and kind of make this like little cat eye shape almost. Not overdone. Just a little bit, just to kind of give me a little shape here. Okay, now going back into my E27 with no additional color, I'm just going to run all of this area together and blend it in. I'm going to grab a little mirror here to take a closer look at what we've got going on here. Now I feel like I have a little space here where I took off some color, and that's okay. Just dip back into it. Okay, now I'm dipping into Side to Side, which is this nice shimmer right here, and I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to tap that in the inner part. So sometimes I like glitter, so sometimes what I do for look number 2 is instead of using an all matte color, sometimes I use a glitter instead of the matte, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I add a little bit of glitter. Okay, so let's finish up this look. I'm going to use my Pure Cosmetics On Point eyeliner in Down to Earth. It's this one right here. Oops. And it has like its own little sharpener inside of the lid. So, and I'm going to use that in my waterline. I tend to use a lot of black, but I've been really into using darker browns in my waterline, especially with a palette like this. I feel like it goes really well with that chocolatey brown that the palette has. Now going into a Morphe E32 into Feel Free, which is this darker brown color. I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line. So imagine, this is a bit smoky. Look number 4 will be even smokier. And I think for look number 4, we'll be doing kind of a halo eye type of look. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to the Colourpop E19 just to make sure that these colors are buffed out a little bit. And now using my pencil brush, I used this one earlier to buff look number 2, my E36. I'm going to dip into In Case You Missed It to tie in what we have going up here, right here. So tying in that orangey color into that brown. I feel like it ties it in very nicely to what we have on top. And because we love a shimmery inner corner, I'm going back into my E35 and I'm dipping into Side to Side, which is what we did for look number 2. And then to zhuzh up my right under my brow, I'm going to use a Colourpop E4 and dip into Catch Me, which is right over here. And just lay this all over the brow bone area. And then going back into my Morphe E35 and Side to Side, that shimmery color. Just highlight my brow bone right here. There we go. All right, let's put some mascara on this one. Same L'Oreal Voluminous Original in Blackest Black. And I didn't do a very good job removing mascara from look number 1. Which, let me tell you, it was a headache trying to, oh, that just happened. So what I was saying is, it was a headache trying to remove look 1 and 2 without ruining my makeup. I didn't want to have to reapply foundation, and I didn't do a very good job removing the mascara. So I brushed it out a little bit with one of those mascara combs. And I'm leaving this mascara mark on my cheek for a while because I need it to fully dry, because I already smeared it, which I shouldn't have touched it. Because if you let it dry, you can just flick off the mascara. Lesson to be learned, next time I do 4 looks with one palette, do a better job removing mascara. But here we go, look number 3, excusing the mascara mark on the top and on the bottom. Let's go into look number 4. Remember, I've already primed, so we are going to start with some of the similar steps that we did for look number 3. So going into my, if I can find it, my Morphe E27. Going back into Work It. So we're going to use this light mustard yellow color over here. We're going to apply that all over, just as we did with look number 3 right now. And the reason I do this is because it's a very light color and it helps you to blend all your other eyeshadows into it. Now this other look will be way more sultry and very glittery. I know, now granted, I know there's glitter on this side, but these other glitters that are here are far more chunky than the one that we just used. I'm going to clean off my E19 and my Veramona color switch right here, just to take out any of the additional dark brown color, even though we are going into that, but we're first going into ICYMI in case you missed it. So it has the letters ICYMI. But that's what it stands for. So I don't know if it's easier for me to tell you ICYMI, although I have to look at it to remember those letters, or if I should just say in case you missed it. But either way, that's that color there. Now for a halo eye, we're going to start the dark brown color exactly as we did on the other side. But for the halo eye, we are going to bring it into the inner part as well. And so the glittery part, or any of the highlighting shade, will be right in the middle of the eye versus in the inner part of the eye. So going back into my Colourpop E19, and Feel Free, this dark color, I'm going to start in the outer corner. And put some in the inner corner as well. And kind of go back and forth until I'm happy with how dark it is on both sides. And then when I'm really happy with it, I'll kind of meet them in the middle, even though the glitter will probably cover most of it. But I do like for some of the dark color to peek above the glittery shades that I put when I do a halo eye. And similarly, I'm going to grab a mirror and get it a little bit closer just so I can see what I've got going on here. Lots of back and forth. Now going back to my Morphe E27, no color, no additional color, just whatever is left. Going to brush over that dark color and blend it in to the other colors that we have there. So when you do a glam look and you do a smoky look and you want it dark and sultry, you have to spend the time on it. You're going to have to go back and forth. If you don't have the time for it, your glam look, it's not going to be as put together. So take the time. Okay, well, let's start with this one first and see what it looks like. It's called PRIMA Drama, which is this shade right here. It's like a rosy champagne type of gold. And so I'm using my finger just to apply it right in the middle, just like that. Oh yeah, I really like that color. So I try to look up as much as I can because my eyes are a little hooded. It's going to transfer to the top anyways. So using a Colourpop E3, I'm going to dip back into the same glitter, that PRIMA Drama. And I'm just going to follow where it marked when I did that with when I looked really high up. Going back to my E19 and Feel Free, which is this darker color, I'm going to blend in the side with the glitter. Now it's going to move the glitter around a little bit, and that's okay. I don't mind having the glitter herpes everywhere. That's right, I called it glitter herpes. You get that stuff everywhere, on yourself and on others. Okay, going back to Feel Free and the Colourpop, what is it? E19. Just going to go in and define all those pieces. Okay, so let's finish up this look using my Ardency in Modster Smooth Ride Supercharged Eyeliner in Coffee. And it's this one right here. I'm trying to finish this puppy up. I'm going to put in the waterline over here. And I'm not too precise with it. If it smudges below, that's okay, because I want it to be dark and smoky down there anyway, so that's okay with me. Just making sure it's all through the waterline. And then using my Morphe E32, which I used earlier, I'm going to first kind of mess with the eyeliner underneath. And then go in with the Feel Free, the dark brown color, and smoke it out. Now I kept my lips very neutral for this video, and it's almost like a light peachy color. I feel like it would go with all of these looks, but of course you can play with your lipstick to do different looks, just jazz it up a little bit more even. Why there's construction in my neighborhood on a Sunday when I'm filming this, I don't know. So if you hear trucks and beeps, it's from the house building in my neighborhood, like right across my house. I'm gonna go back into my Colourpop E19 brush and then just smoke it out underneath. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a watery eye. Not right now. Okay. Gonna dip into the orangey in case you missed it, same as I did on the other side. You can tell that on this side I'm going a little bit smokier or a little bit further out, and I'm doing that on purpose. Like this look is it's a smokier look, it's a sultry look. You're going out, you're doing it. You want to be super extra glam. This is it. This is it. I'm gonna go back into the dark brown, the Feel Free color with the Morphe E32. Eventually, I will remember the name of all these brushes, y'all, but I don't right now. Okay, I think we're in a good place. Now I'm going into my Colourpop E4 and into Catch Me, which was that pinky nude. And like I did on the other side, I'm going to run that all underneath my brow. And then use an E27 like I did on the other side. Just make sure that's nice and blended. And smear that glitter herpes even more, because why not? Now going into side to side, using my Morphe E35. Same, under the brow bone. And right here in the inner corner for some pop and shimmer. And that's it, y'all. We need some mascara. Let's do that. Wow, I did way better removing mascara on this side. It's not as chunky and clumpy as it was on the other side. So it can be done. And there you have it. Look 3 and look 4. So look 3, your happy hour, date night, night with the girls look. There you go. A little sparkly, but not too much. A little smoky, but not too much. And then bam! Super extra glam. So I know they're both pretty glamorous, but for me this is glam. This is more than this one. Sometimes I go a little less on the smoke out, but I feel when I just do one side and I use a lighter color and a lighter shimmer, it's not as dramatic as this other side. So there it is. Those are my 4 looks. My 4 looks using one palette, the Colourpop Sweet Talk palette right here. Look number 1, your wash of color. One color all over the eyelid, you're out the door. Make it quick. Look number 2, every day, going to work, going to school, going to run errands. Look 3, going out, date night with your girlfriends, happy hour. Look 4, glam. So if you have it in you, by all means, put your false lashes on. I'm not gonna do that, but you surely can. But that's it. This is our look. I will be filming 4 looks with one palette every month. So you can expect one of these every month. So I'd like to know what eyeshadow palette you would like for me to do. Now keep in mind, I want it to be a palette that is currently in stock, something that is accessible to everyone to go purchase when I'm filming the video. I will be going back and forth between high-end eyeshadow palettes and more affordable palettes, as well as using palettes with less eyeshadow pans. This one had 12, so maybe 4 to 6 eyeshadows. And then using some, of course, that have maybe 12, 14, 20, 30 eyeshadow colors. Obviously, eyeshadow palettes that have 30 eyeshadow pans in it will give you very different looks. This one, I had 12 colors to choose from. So I used a lot of the same colors, and there were still a lot of colors I didn't use, and I could have used. My look number 2, every day for work, I went in with West Side right here and with this matte color Catch Me, but I had said that sometimes I use a color like this, or there's a nice shimmer here or here that could have also very well gone all over the lid. So a lot of variety in this palette, and I think it's good for all times. I think it's good for the fall. I think it's good for the spring. So it's something you can use all the time. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Krystle Ann Garza. The link will be down below in the description, so you can click through there and follow me on Instagram, and then you can get the close-ups of all 4 of these looks. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did and you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. Ring that notification bell. It'll notify you every Friday of my new uploads. Like this video, share it with your friends, and get involved with the comments down below. Tell me what eyeshadow palette you want to see next. Tell me what kind of video you want to see next. Or give me your input on this video in general. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.